What candidate belongs to which religion? Maysoon Zayed next. First, because without this segment, we don't have a prayer. Here, Countdown's top 3 nominees for today's Worst Person in the World. There's a theme tonight, Fox or ex-Fox and Norway. The bronze to Brian Kilmeade from the Sunrise semester from the Fox and Friends Clown College. This is this morning, after the Norway terrorist revealed his anti-Islamic, anti-immigration stance and cited one American Islamophobic website 64 times.
Are you surprised somewhat that Western newspapers, in this case the New York Times, seem to be jumping on the fact or trying to equate Christian, what they say are Christian extremists, with Muslim extremists? The headline today, for example, killings in Norway spotlight anti-Muslim thought in U.S. What does one thing have to do with another?
That from a network usually devoted to suggesting the murderers of 9/11 and peaceful Muslims here have one thing to do with the other. To that point, the runner-up Laura Ingraham, filling in for Bill the Comb-Over on Friday, she'll speak for all those on the right who so horribly assumed. Of course, she took it a step further. She bookended her prejudiced, incorrect guess of what had happened with a dog whistle to incite fear of and perhaps retribution against peaceful Muslims here.
In the back of the book segment tonight, 2 deadly terror attacks in Norway and what appears to be the work, once again, of Muslim extremists. In the meantime, in New York City, the Muslims who want to build the mosque at Ground Zero recently scored a huge legal victory. A Manhattan judge dismissed a lawsuit by former New York City firefighter Timothy Brown, who was trying to stop construction of the mosque.
The segment also showed video of not just the Park 51 Islamic Center, but also the 9/11 attacks. The sadness here is that 18 months ago, Ingraham initially defended the Park 51 project. She is not a psycho like our next honoree, nor a moron who must appear on television like Kilmeade. Our winner, though, is Lonesome Road's Beck. The former TV lunatic is now only on the radio, but that sadly is plenty. Frankly, this is one of the most disturbing things I've ever heard. And apart from his saying that the teenage victims in the Norway shooting were in some way comparable to the, quote, Hitler Youth, is that he says it and goes right past it as if it weren't one of the most disturbing things anybody's ever heard.
And as the thing started to unfold, and then there was a shooting at a political camp, which sounds a little like, you know, the Hitler Youth or whatever. I mean, who does a camp for kids that's all about politics? Disturbing.
Disturbing. Note, please, what Beck thinks is disturbing, not the Islamophobic monster thinking he's wiping out the next generation of liberals in his country. This afternoon, many in the right-wing blogosphere supported those words of Beck's because they believe truth is a defense, that a politically oriented camp for teenage kids is like the Hitler Youth. Except there are camps like that here. For more than 30 years, the John Birch Society ran overnight summer camps for teenagers. Now it has switched to week-long day camps. And except for the irony of ironies, the Norwegian Labour Party camp that Beck has likened to the Hitler Youth, it was the Norwegian government, a Labour Party government, that fought the Nazis in the Second World War. Yet Beck is clearly saying the camp was disturbing. The 68 dead at the camp, that's not what he's focused on. Let's just face this, Glenn Beck is a seriously disturbed human being. And he's today's worst person in the world.